There was one where when we went into the house, the woman kept saying, "I'm so sorry for the smell. I'm so sorry for the smell." And I was like, I mean, I don't really smell it. It's not that bad. And I was like, and trust me, I have a very active gag reflex. There's nothing getting past this nose. And she just kept saying it. And then we went into the basement, and I was like, oh, it's in here.
Oh, no.
I was like, I feel like it was like burned into her nose. And so she's triggered when she comes to the house, because it was like a house that we still had to work on and stuff like that. So they didn't spend a whole lot of time. And I went into the basement, and I was like, we got to get the out of here.
It's Breaking Bread.
This episode of Breaking Bread with Tom Papa is brought to you by Wildgrain. We love Wildgrain. They're the first bake from frozen subscription box for artisanal breads, pastries, and pastas. Are you ready to bring all your favorite carbs right to your doorstep? Be sure to check out Wildgrain so you can begin building your own box of artisanal breads, pastas, and pastries. For a limited time, Wildgrain is offering our listeners $30 off the first box, plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/papa to start your subscription. That's $30 off your first box when you go to wildgrain.com/papa, or just use the promo code PAPA at checkout. Wildgrain, good stuff. We'd also like to thank the good people at tompapa.com. The Grateful Bread Tour is roaring along. We've had great shows recently. We were up in Santa Rosa. We were in Las Vegas. It's been really great. People are coming out. It's really fun. I've been signing books at the end and meeting a lot of great people who are traveling all over the place to come to these shows. It's really great. We've got Dallas coming up this week. We've got Houston, Mississippi, and then we're going all the way to Hawaii. And then we've got big shows in Flint, Michigan, the Chicago Theater, the Beacon in New York, a whole bunch of shows, all available at tompapa.com. Thanks for doing this.
No problem.
I have some bread for you.
I heard. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of,
Yep.
Can you hand me my bag? Because I can't do straight carbs and not take a pill.
Well, you don't have to eat it now.
Oh, okay.
You can take this home and
Good
do
to
whatever
know.
you want with it. You
Got
could eat
it.
it, you can give it to people.
Great.
But
Because I was like ready to eat.
I know. It's there's only been a couple comedians that have actually eaten it on the air because our listeners get very angry when we do eat. For some reason, they love our podcast, but they love when we make ourselves happy. They get angry.
Jealous, yeah.
How's life?
Life is all right.
Yeah.
It's been, slow in Hollywood.
Right.
But, I go back to work mid-April.
Mid-April?
Yeah.
That's good. Shooting another season?
Yes. I go on the road for
I know.
HGTV.
I really want to talk about this because I had a brief show, a baking food traveling show, and they're great shows. Your show's very funny.
Thank
it's
you.
very cool. I want to talk about it, but it's a grind.
It's a
those shows.
grind.
Those shows are not easy to do. To go out on the road with a crew and get up early and go shoot all this stuff, and people don't realize what you got to do to pull those shows off.
It's tough. I mean, I did stand up, so I did the road.
Yeah.
That was tough because I was by myself. So
Right.
at least I have, company.
Uh-huh.
But it's also, going into strangers' homes, which can be cool because it's like, ooh, what's this? What's this? Because I'm nosy.
Yeah.
But also sometimes you run into that. How long can I hold my breath?
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I've had that a couple of times.
Oh, no. Like strange kind of like hoardery places or like...
Hoardery, or this person just has terrible, foot funk and keeps his shoes out.
No.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's you can tell if you pay attention, you
Yeah.
can see me sweating and about to like pass out.
Oh, no.
In this one room.
Oh, now I
And
got to rewatch.
You see me look at my camera guy, and my producer is like, "Bitch, we were in here first, so we've been in here longer than you."
I did a show a while ago that had couples that would come on the show, and they would come to New York and they would stay in hotels. And the production people, I would just see them on set. They'd be like, they'd bring the couple in on set like later in the day, and we'd interview them or whatever. And I didn't find out until like halfway through the season from the producers, who had to go meet them in their hotel room and prep them and stuff and get them all ready, what was going on. And they're like, no, you don't understand. We're going to a hotel room with this middle-aged couple in the morning after they've done stuff in those bathrooms. And they're like, you walk in sometimes and they're like, ooh, okay, you guys are going to be great. We'll see you at the studio.
I thought you're going to be like sex smell, which is probably just as gross.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. No,
or that they've been like packing up the sheets and you can tell they've stolen everything in the hotel room.
I'm sure. Yeah, but real people in their real lives is really funky.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's real tough. I mean, I totally like more than you need to know. But I'm like, you know, sometimes you forget you have to valet places. And you're like, ooh, I just let something loose in here. And now this guy's got to get in here.
Putting down the windows. Hey.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, I
just
gotta
looking
go
for my keys.
one more time.
Was it your idea for the show? Or did
No.
you just got the gig?
No, I think HGTV, they had the idea. I think they had the idea for a really long time. And then they went to the production company, and I think their production company, you know, approached me about it.
Got it.
I'm not sure if I was on HGTV's list.
That's
but
great.
I think,
so you didn't have to audition? They just one of those offer things? Oh, those are the best.
But it was the kind of thing, I didn't want to do it.
No?
No, because
of the travel?
Well, not so much the travel. I was like, I'm not a host. I don't like the idea of hosting. Like, because I'm like, I don't like to be peppy like have to be peppy.
Right.
And I'm like, you know, if I wake up in a mood, it's not going to be a good episode.
Right.
And so I was paranoid about that. I've always been like a little bit nervous about the hosting thing. And then the travel. But I always complain to my reps in between seasons when we're shooting about not having enough work. Like, I need more auditions. And so it was like, bitch, you just got an offer for something to actually be working in between seasons. So, you know, man up. So I was like, okay, I did it, but I definitely didn't think it was gonna last.
Right. Yeah.
And I also was like
5 seasons?
Well, I'm going into season 7 and 8. They do, you know, they do 2 within the, what do they call it? The
made-up television year.
Yeah, they call it the session. So they don't have to
pay you more money for another year.
So if they can pack in 3 seasons of 1 year, you're like stuck with that money. Yeah. Anyway, I was just nervous about being caught in reality. Like, I was like, I'm still like in actor mode.
Right.
But it was lucky because we only had 1 more season after my show. Then it was, so the show got canceled. Then it was the strike.
Right.
And because it's reality, I got to work during the strike.
Oh, right.
And then now with Post the Fires, everything's so slow.
Yeah.
After the strike that this is what I'm
a blessing.
Yeah.
No, it's
to
great.
pay my bills and
those
stuff.
Those gigs are the best. Yeah. They're the best. I know I've had those things too.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, well, is that really me? Am I doing that?
Right.
But you can shoot a bunch.
Yeah.
You bank them, and it doesn't eat up your time to go do the other stuff.
Well,
and you are.
It can though. That's the thing, because it's.
Well, because you're on the road.
Yeah.
You're not just doing a strip show. Yeah. Right. No. Yeah. Like where you just do like 10 in a.
Yeah. So it's week. You know it's.
How long are you out for?
I'm in and out because they figured out a way to add like a little bit of time, you know, some downtime.
Yeah.
Because it was really, really tough the first season. So they're like, oh, mid-April to Labor Day.
Whoa.
So but it is
That's
in and
long.
out. So if I get something, you know, I can only shoot something else like during the 2 weeks that I have down for in this month and that and stuff like that.
So it sounds like you have to be a movie star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
Yeah, don't go. Yeah, you don't need television right now. You need to go do a part for like a week and then go back to your thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
But anything else, if I get anything else, that other thing is in first position. So they have to work around a different, if I get another schedule, they have to work around that schedule.
Oh, that's
Yes.
good.
So then they'd have to squeeze everything in.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. It's interesting though. This is why they come to comedians to host these things.
Right.
Because like you say, like, you know, you might be in a mood, you might be whatever.
Right.
I mean, this is your stand-up too. I'm not telling you anything that I'm sure other people haven't told you, but you have a good snarky kind of no BS attitude about the world, and even in the show, it kind of comes through of like, what are we looking at here?
Right.
But you also, as Retta, you have this joy that's even when you're cranky, there's still that thing in your eye of like, she's not really mean.
Right. I mean, I think I'm getting better at hiding it for sure. But it took a while because I was very, I took this, I was like, this is HGTV. This is what it's supposed to be. So I was very HGTV, just like, you know, just saying what I thought, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I didn't bring my personality. It was like for 2 houses. And then finally at the 3rd house, my director, EP, was like, be yourself. It was like, be yourself.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I just didn't know. I just watched enough HGTV to know this is how they do their OTFs. We call them talking heads, but they call them OTFs. So I was just trying to do that. And then when he said that, there was a point where I remember it was the Poseidon house. And I walked into the bathroom that's in the basement that had the I don't know the difference.
Yeah, stalagmites and stalactites.
And I go, what the fuck is going on in here? And he was like,
nice. It's funny that you approach it because you're an actor,
right?
So it's like, well, I'm going to play the role of an HGTV host, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And I was like, well, we feel like if they do this, I couldn't understand why they would choose as opposed to, bitch, what were you thinking? So it's once I got that, it made it so much easier.
Yeah. Then you're just yourself. Then you don't even have to like really sweat it.
Yeah.
Right? You just walk in and just be.
Yeah. The only thing you just have to, you know, I get the intro, the walk up intro 30 minutes before we start. And that's the only thing I have to memorize, really.
That's good. You're smooth at it. Like because I've you know, you see people that are just a little corny with it. really, like to get that down really quickly and be able to put it out is a skill.
I try.
Yeah. Do you still love acting though? Like,
yes.
That's your main?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or stand up?
Acting.
Yeah,
I started stand up as a means to an end.
You did?
Yeah. In college, I loved stand up, and then I loved sitcoms, and it didn't take long for me to put 2 and 2 together that a lot of stand-ups were getting their own sitcoms.
Right.
So that's why I started doing stand-up.
Oh.
I was like, if I do stand-up, there's a chance someone will throw a show at me.
Right.
So that's why I started doing it. It was, And then, so once I started acting, I was kind of like not pressed. When I was doing Parks, I went on the road. I still went on the road, but it got to a point where I could only go on weekends because I did colleges.
Okay.
So I could only do weekends. And then it was just too tenuous. I just had to stop.
Exhausting.
Eventually. Yeah. It was too much. Aziz did it for so long. I don't know how, going on the road every weekend. I stopped after like season 3.
It can break you. It can break you. I always remember it always plays in my mind when I'm getting tired during touring of the Ray Charles movie when you ever see
with Jamie Foxx?
Yeah, and he's making a deal. As Ray Charles, he's making a deal with the record label, and he's going through the things that he needs. I want ownership. I want this. I want that. And one more thing, I want my own jet. He goes, because being out there and touring will kill you.
Right? It's tough.
He goes, I need to do it the right way, and I need my own jet to take me around.
Only.
And every time I like check into a Days Inn after getting a rental car and driving for 2 hours, I'm like, that man, he was right.
Where's my jet at?
Yeah, where's my jet to get? Oh, here's a funny thing. I was going back and scanning some of your shows, and the first one that came up, you covered a house in Grass Valley, California. I think it was an early season.
Oh,
in Grass Valley, which I'm performing tomorrow night in Grass Valley,
Really?
which is such an obscure place in California.
Was that was
Gold
that
Rush?
the one? Because I think there were two.
It was one where they had like all weird stuff out on the lawn. A gay couple, they wanted to get married out in the back.
They were sweet because they followed me on Instagram, and I remember they had that was like right after, it was COVID because we were down in COVID, and so we went on the road right after.
Right.
And during COVID, I was making my happy hour drink every day.
Yeah, of course.
When I would go, because that's when I started getting my pool renovated.
Oh boy, during
And
COVID.
We started 3 days before the lockdown.
Oh,
And remember, it was pouring rain. So my backyard was just mud. It was just mud. And because they had started the renovation, they had put the plastic on my doors. So I couldn't even see the yard.
oh no.
So when they finally got to a place where they had poured the concrete or whatever and like it started cleaning up a little bit and they could take the plastic down.
Yeah.
I would make a drink and go sit in the empty hot tub and talk to my Instagram fans. And I used to make a drink called SangRETTA. And so when I went to their house, they had the ingredients to make a SangRETTA.
Oh, that's
And
great.
I was like, God bless. I mean, I'm not going to drink it, but God bless.
You're right. I'm not gonna drink what you just gave me.
Yeah.
Oh, very funny. Well, I'm going to Grass Valley tomorrow, so I can check in on them.
I don't remember the town. I remember them, and I remember that yard.
Yeah, right.
That yard was cuckoo bananas.
Yeah, really weird. That's funny that you were starting to renovate your own spot while you're starting this show, while you're doing this show.
I just finished. I moved from the house. To the pool, and then the pool I did the yard, and from the yard I did the pool house.
Yeah.
And so now I'm pretty much done.
Did it come out nice, the pool?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The pool
Yeah.
is really nice, yeah.
I need someone to do a surface around the pool. If you have a guy.
I have a guy.
Yeah? All right, good. So you're Jersey. I'm Jersey.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Where from Jersey?
I grew up in Park Ridge, Montvale, like up in
that?
northern Jersey.
Oh, okay. North Jersey. I'm Central.
You're Central
Yeah,
Jersey.
I was born in Newark, and then I went to Matawan High School.
Matawan. Wow, nice. Did you like Jersey?
I liked it enough. And then when I left it, I was like, oh, I don't like it as much. You know what I mean?
When you
but
come
it's
back.
all I knew.
Right, exactly. I have a friend that says that everybody from New Jersey, when they get out, they're like, I had no idea this was out here.
And actually, I think I would love parts of Jersey that I didn't live in. But it's like, hometown. It's like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. I don't really.
Yeah, there is that thing.
Yeah.
But there's also a draw that seems to, like, I don't know. It's
There
like, it starts
are
to pull you back.
Jersey fans that I look at in awe that are like the Jersey Pride. There's a comedian, I can't remember his name now, that's messed up, who has a tattoo of Jersey. And I remember seeing it and I was like, bro.
Is Rich Voss? Is it Rich Voss?
No, not Rich Voss. I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
But I just remember being like,
New Jersey.
for real? And he was like, yeah. Like legit, like
Yeah.
he's like, what are you, New York? I go, no, bro, I'm from Jersey. And I'm like, why?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking why.
I am familiar.
Do you still have family there? Yeah.
All my family's there.
How long? When did you move out?
I moved to LA. Well, I moved out in college.
Okay.
So I went to North Carolina,
Right.
And then from North Carolina, I moved to California.
You went to Duke? Mm-hmm. Right. Was that cool?
It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody
And
loves
that, I
Duke.
mean, I think that was the beginning of like me being like, I don't need to go back to Jersey, because it was so pretty.
Yeah.
You know, like they had flowers along the freeway,
Yeah.
which I found amazing.
You don't see that on the turnpike.
I'm like, is this Holland? You know?
Right.
You definitely don't see it on the Garden State Parkway.
No.
Which is really a misnomer.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was the beginning of me being like, there are other places in the world you can be.
Were you acting in high school?
I did, yes.
Yeah.
I did school plays and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the musicals mostly.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can sing.
Yeah, I like to sing.
Do you still sing?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I sing.
Do you
to my
belt around the
Instagram
house?
friends. Yeah, but mostly in the car.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's what keeps me from road raging.
Oh, really?
Singing, uh-huh.
When people are cutting you off, instead of saying
Yeah.
F you, you just
I mean, I still
go
say
into an
it,
aria.
but I don't rage.
Right.
I feel like I said it on the way here.
Oh, really?
Like, fuck off. But I'm calmer.
But yeah. When did you start training for singing?
Well, I was always in chorus.
Right.
So I was in chorus since I was little.
Uh-huh.
And then, you know, by high school, I got it, you know, got into like the magical group, and we did competitions.
Wow.
And, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you good right away? Did you just know that was your family like
I
that?
guess so.
Was there someone in your family that did it?
No.
No?
No. I mean, we all sang in church.
Right.
You know, because we had to.
Right.
But
Well, what was your apostolic?
New Apostolic.
New apostolic. What is that? Is it
Christian.
It's Christian.
Other than that, I don't know how to describe it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Catholic Church says they're an apostolic church, but New Apostolic, I guess it's
Yeah.
just another spin-off.
Just another Christian one, yeah.
Right. And they had a good chorus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they had like, my mother always sang. So we were Baptist.
Uh-huh.
And then we moved, and one day my mom was like, we're going to this church. So we changed churches, went to an apostolic church. And we always sang in the Baptist church.
Right.
So my mom was like, we'll do the choir here. And, you know, there we used hymnals, though.
Uh-huh.
We didn't use hymnals in
the Baptist church.
No, Baptist
Yeah.
church was a little more freeform.
Right, a little loose. And now you're holding books.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. It is joyful stuff, though.
Yeah. Yeah. But we did, like, I was in the youth choir, I was in the you know, congregational choir. I can't remember if I had a few solos in church, but it was school that I did, you know, singing, you know.
Yeah. What was your best performance in high school?
My best performance?
Yeah.
Oh,
Was there a standout that
no,
was...
that was college.
It could be college.
Well, college, I did the Colored Museum.
Uh-huh.
And that went really well. I got, you know, rave reviews.
No, it's the best.
In the local paper, not just the school paper. Local
yeah.
paper. And I did we all did different parts in that.
Mm.
And then I did Day of Absence, but Day of Absence wasn't a musical.
I don't know that one.
Day of Absence was a play about what would happen in the world if all the black people disappeared.
Oh.
So it's pretty funny.
What happens?
White people can't do it. Can't do it. It's like naked kids running in the streets. Houses just filthy. It was crazy.
It's funny.
Yeah, that was my...
But that one was like, was that the first time like you felt like, oh yeah, people know to...
that's
Right.
when I knew for sure I was funny.
Ah.
Yeah, that's... because in the musicals, it's like, you know, it's silly, but in Day of Absence, I was just a clown.
Right.
And people were like, "You were hilarious."
Were
And I was
you
like,
were you
"Thanks."
funny just in life, like as a kid?
Yeah, I was kind of
I
like
don't.
the funny kid.
Yeah, I don't feel like this gets turned on in
Yeah.
college.
And even when we were little, my brother and I would like try to make my mom laugh.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, she'd like be laying in bed, and we'd just be like, "Dun, dun, 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 dun." And she was like, "Enough." And I don't know why we were so pressed, but we were really pressed to like make her. One of the things we used to do, we would try to like, well, more me. I would try to talk really, really ignorant. My mother did not like when we didn't like conjugate a verb properly or whatever, and so we would do that a lot. And she would be like, "My ears are bleeding. That's enough."
Just leave me alone. It's funny.
I don't need it.
Was your brother funny?
Yeah, he's really funny.
Yeah. What does he do now?
He, I don't even know what he does. I
Oh,
know
really?
He's always, well, because I feel like all he does is like deal with the football for his kids.
Right.
You know,
That's his career.
he's got a million things.
Is he still Jersey? Mm-hmm. He is.
And he's a big sneakerhead.
Oh, really?
So that's another thing. He sells sneakers on the side.
Oh, nice.
He's one of those guys.
Someone gave me sneakers. A fan of our radio show, saw me in Converse All-Stars on stage. And he's like, no. No.
It sounds like my brother.
Yeah. So he sent me these Jordans, and I really don't know from what's cool, what's
Right.
not. And I wear these shoes, and people are like,
Where'd you get that?
nice shoes.
We don't get it.
Yeah, we don't get I don't know. It doesn't match the top, but holy cow, that's nice.
Yeah.
I'm like, thanks.
Like,
And I've been wearing them for a while.
Really?
Like now they're like, I'm like, I know sneakerheads like they don't want to crease them. They want to do that. I've been wearing these. So I literally just put a call out on the radio show. Like, what else should I buy?
right?
What's next? I can't do it myself.
That's hilarious. I remember in college, I still don't know anything about sneakers.
Yeah.
But I remember in college, I bought, with my first like financial aid job paycheck, I bought some British Knights. Have you ever heard of those?
Yeah, I've heard of British
BKs?
Knights. Yeah.
I remember I wore them home, and my brother was like, and basically before they said, "What are those?" He was like, what is on your feet? And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, they're BKs. He was like, do not come out with me. My younger brother,
Really?
Do not come outside with me. And then he was like, are you wearing Nike socks with, like, you can't wear,
Yeah. The rules.
you have to wear the matching.
Yeah,
I was
I don't
like,
know the rules.
out of here.
Yeah.
And now I kind of am like, ooh.
Yeah. Now it's cringy. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I did go to Foot Locker and just was like, I'm just going to pick something I think that looks cool.
Right.
And I get some compliments on
Yeah.
them, but I don't know if they're really cool.
Right.
They don't get the response that the other ones got.
I don't care.
Yeah.
My thing's handbags.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My thing, if I get I like your bag, I was like, worth it. It
Right.
was worth it costing too much money.
My daughter really likes them. She's 20,
Mm-hmm.
and like I can tell her older sister no an interest in handbags.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I can see her.
Right.
And well, you tell me, should I stop her or should I let her form this addiction?
Well, I will say, who knows? They say it's an investment piece. They say that, which sure, until they're not.
Right.
I feel the same way about gold. I'm like, this gold, the bottom is gonna drop, and people are gonna be like, nobody cares about your Fort Knox.
Right.
Just like money. I'm like, currency. Why do we all buy into this bullshit?
Yeah.
You know, but
it's not
give me all the money while it's still worth something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for the time being, yes, it's worth it. But there's some that are like, they're popular in certain groups, but I'm like, that's not gonna be worth any money later.
Right.
You know, like I got rid of all my Coach bags.
Why?
I just they don't really hold the value, and
It's not like a Louis Vuitton or a
so I'm not as pressed about them. So there's some bags that are just fun bags,
right.
and I don't mean breasts. There are some bags that are just fun to have, and I love a like a kitschy, cute. I get a lot of Kate Spade bags, which I don't think are going to be worth a lot,
but they're still fun and look cool.
It's the shape of an orange,
right?
You know. It's
There
are lips,
right.
that sort of thing. I like. And then there's some that I'm like, when I die.
Yeah.
Give this to my grandchildren.
Right. My daughter was studying in Paris, and
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, and we went to visit and stuff, and because of the handbag one, I didn't realize how deep the culture was, like the Louis Vuitton of it all and the Gucci of it all, and it was just like this is legacy, like this has been around for so long, and it's treated with such a reverence over there. Yeah. And I was like, well, maybe there is something to this. And my daughter's like, so can I get this one? I was like, well, hell no. It's more than our trip. This is more than our hotel for 5 people.
It's more than our trip.
I was like, yeah, they almost got me. This whole story.
How long ago was that?
2 years ago.
That's not that long ago. She's 20.
Yeah.
Because I was buying some bags. I would buy a bag every year.
Yeah.
I would go to the outlet stores too. I would go to the outlet store and get a Gucci but every year, once a year, I would buy myself a bag. This is when I was like just struggling and, going I was on the road still. And now I'm not as pressed, but my thing is if you walk out of the store and you're still thinking about the bag, buy the bag.
Right.
And I learned that the hard way because there's one that got away from me. But there was a point where I was like buying bags, and now the bags are worth a lot more.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like there was like a crazy where I will not buy them because they're too expensive. And I'm talking about resale.
Right.
I'm like, hell no, I won't ever buy them anymore. So I'm glad I got them when I got them because I'm never going to buy those bags again because it's way too expensive.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's the thing. She's very poor.
But I have friends that they have these old Louis that are now considered vintage, but they sell for crazy.
I know.
So I'm like, yeah, if you can get in on the bottom floor or something.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. Well, she's going to have to get a job or something. I can't support it. I'm out.
Or get in with a new designer that'll one day be legacy.
It's so contagious. I mean, the sneaker thing is the same thing. You're right. People that your brother, obviously, they get into it, and when they get hooked, they get hooked.
My brother's thing was rock one, stock one. And so he would always buy 2. And that's why he's able to sell now because he's got shoes that came out 15 years ago that you can't find anywhere.
I just heard you grunt over there. Is that a good philosophy? You like that one? You do it too?
I'm not as into sneakers, but when I do find one I like, I've never heard the phrase rock one.
That's his thing.
That just made its way into my life.
Right.
I kind of want to rock one, stock one with everything in my life now. 1 can of Pringles?
This will last the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Get
another. Are you a hoarder? No, I'm just stocking. This episode of Breaking Bread with Tom Papa is brought to you by Wildgrain, the first bake from frozen subscription box for artisanal breads, pastries, and pastas. Wildgrain's boxes are fully customizable to your tastes and dietary restrictions. You can get a gluten-free box or a plant-based box that is 100% vegan. I love Wildgrain. Their products are great, and the cool thing is it's not like you're getting stuff and you're just gobbling it all down. You get these different kinds of breads. You get some an Italian bread. You get some pasta. You get some cookies. You put it all in the freezer and you just keep it around. And then when you're going to entertain or where you're stuck and you haven't gotten a chance to go to the store, you slide whatever you want out. In 25 minutes or less, you've got a great, solid, legit baked good. You're really going to love the people at Wildgrain. And, well, more than the people, you're going to like the bread. Are you ready to bring all your favorite carbs right to your doorstep? For a limited time, Wildgrain is offering our listeners $30 off the first box, plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/papa and start your subscription. That's free croissants and $30 off your first box. Go to wildgrain.com/papa, wildgrain.com/papa, or just use the promo code PAPA at checkout. It's a great way to support this podcast. Go to wildgrain.com right now. Take a look. Just spend a little. How easy is that? Just go to the website and just poke around and see what you like. We'd also like to thank the good people at Trade Coffee. Oh boy. What do we like more? I mean, this is like the perfect coupling, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I don't think we like anything more, and I'm including family in that. Baked goods and coffee. Trade Coffee is the #1 specialty coffee marketplace, bringing you fresh coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. They have taste tested thousands of coffees from around the world, and they offer you 450 amazing roasts. Whether you're new to coffee or know your favorites, they'll pick the perfect one for you. What you do is you go on, you take their little quiz, and in under a minute, they'll match you with the perfect coffee. It's very exciting because they're all designed great. And then they come and you think, wow, do they know me? And then you grind up your beans and you realize, oh my God, they love me. Since every bag is roasted to your order, you'll taste and smell the difference from your very first cup. Trade prices are on par with grocery store brands. I would say they're cheaper. I don't know if legally I can, so don't get all crazy. But what I'm paying in my grocery store, Trade Coffee is my friend. Plus, you're also supporting local roasters, which is really great. So it's a win-win. Right now, Trade is exclusively offering our listeners 40% off your first order at drinktrade.com/papa. That's drinktrade, TRADE.com/papa for 40% off your first order. drinktrade.com/papa. Man, oh man, good coffee, great baked goods. What more do you want? Great way to support these two very good companies, innovative, reliable, and a great way to support the podcast as well. So thank you both. Was your mom a good cook?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But my parents are from Liberia, so she made mostly Liberian food.
What's Liberian food like?
A lot of stews, rice and stews. And there's a thing called fufu, which I don't like. My dad likes. My mom, I guess, likes. And then my middle brother now likes. When we were younger, he didn't like it. But
what is it?
You know, it's almost like, almost like a giant dumpling. But you rip it off and you eat it with soup, with a soup. Mostly they call it pepper soup, but they pronounce it pepper soup.
Pepper soup.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you can eat it with other things. You can eat it with oh my God, I was about to say the wrong thing.
Pita bread?
Okra, like an okra sauce or whatever. No, not pita bread, because it's like a bread thing.
It is a bread thing.
It's a starchy thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and my brother eats it. I don't like it.
You don't like it? Why? What's it taste like?
It doesn't taste like anything to me.
Oh, really?
It just tastes like a pasty dough almost. To me, it almost tastes like it's not fully cooked.
Oh, like a texture.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
I know what you mean.
And so it's not for me. But people, and you eat it with like a spicy soup or I call them stews, but you know, you can eat it with whatever.
Can you cook this way? No. You didn't pick it up?
No. I can't really cook, no.
Oh, really?
Nope. It's bad. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, my big thing was spaghetti.
Right.
And that's, with sauce in a jar.
Yeah. So where'd you go after Duke? You came out to LA?
I came here.
Came right to LA?
Yeah.
So you developed as a comic in LA?
No. No, I stayed in North Carolina for 4 years.
Right.
And then I came here.
Because you did Good Nights and, right? Yeah. Was that like the first place where you started to cut your teeth?
Yeah.
Cool. That's a good spot.
I did the open mic every Tuesday or Wednesday.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you remember the date of your first one?
No.
No.
I don't remember. The first time I did
mid-90s,
stand-up.
Late 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time I did stand-up, I did it I remember I was working for a pharmaceutical firm, doing chemistry, and I remember telling my coworkers that I wanted to go into stand-up. I had taken an acting class at the Raleigh Little Theater, on the weekends. Some bullshit. But I was, all in preparation of starting, my acting career one day.
Yeah.
But then when I realized the whole stand-up thing, I was like, oh, maybe I'll do stand-up. That's probably smarter and quicker.
Right.
Than, doing scenes in this basement. So I told my coworkers, that's right. I told my coworkers, and one day one of the chemists had said he saw this thing in the paper to get an agent. There was like having almost like a talent show. Of course, you had to bring 10 people.
Yeah.
So
of
there was
course.
some bullshit. But
But you
so
get up.
I invited, friends, most of which were from work. I had come up with what I was going to say on stage. And do you remember not Bud Ice? It was ice. Was it Bud Ice? Maybe it was Bud Ice.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I drank a 6-pack of that before going on stage. And I just remember I was sweating. I remember this point where I took my hat off and put it on backwards and my hair was sticking out because they taped it. So there's footage of that.
Oh, nice.
But anyway, so there was a bunch of us. And then the person with the most applause would get repped by this, again, a scam.
Right.
And this was an agent based out this was in North Carolina, and the agent was based in Florida, maybe.
Okay.
So basically, they were just touring the country,
Right.
getting money from folks.
Right, getting the night.
So I did well, but the kid that won, basically, it was this little kid that was singing, and his whole church was there.
So they're all cheering.
But because I did well, they were like, "Well, we'd like to rep you too." And I was like, really great. And I never did anything.
You never heard from them. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they did like mail me a contract, but I knew enough to be like,
yeah.
how much? What percentage?
Yeah. Yeah. For the rest of my career that hasn't started yet.
No. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But you were getting traction pretty early. You were like, as far as performing and having the audiences like you.
Yeah, I did. Yes, yes, I did well. Then I took a class.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. I did an open mic one night. One of the comics liked me and said, "I teach a class. You should take it. I won't charge you." So in this class, I worked on a bit that I did for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Because it held up.
Yeah.
And then, the graduation night, I did the bit. It killed, and I was like, man. And so I stuck with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you get traction. You feel like, okay, I can do stand up, and then you head to LA. Or did you go to New York? You didn't go to New York. I don't know why I had in my mind you were in New York.
No.
I don't know. Maybe because Parks was such a lot of New York people. I just felt like you were the same.
No, I didn't. I came here, and I would open for like road comics out there when they'd come to town.
Right.
Sometimes there was a show that they did over at like UNC. There was a circuit, I forget what it was called, but they would stop at a little bar at UNC, and sometimes they would have me be the middler there. And then, a couple of spots in like Raleigh. And then the guy who Dan French. Do you know Dan French? Because he lived here for a little bit.
Yeah, I know
and he
the name.
writes.
Yeah.
He used to tour. So sometimes he would take me to be his middler.
Good. That's cool.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. So you decide to go LA because you know
That's
acting's going to be the thing.
That's where I got to be.
Yeah.
I just assumed I was going to be doing stand up at an open mic, and someone's like,
Yeah.
"Do you want a comedy show? Do you want a sitcom?" And I would have to be like, "As a matter of fact, I do."
What was your first acting thing out here? Was it Sunny?
No, I did an episode of Moesha.
Oh, okay.
I did an episode of Moesha. And then, I can't remember what was after that, but
Yeah.
Moesha was first.
And was that pretty early from when you got out here? Or did it take a while?
No, it was
Quick?
Yeah, it was. So Mara Brock Akil wrote for Moesha. Mara, who's like a big producer writer now, she dated a friend of mine in college, and so when I was doing stand up in North Carolina, that friend's roommate was like, "You know, Brian used to date such and such." And I was like, "I don't know who that is." "She's a writer. You should talk to her." And so he hooked us up. So we talked on the phone before I ever moved to LA. So when I moved to LA,
no way.
I let her know I was here. And then one day she was like, "There's a part for a stand-up comedian in Moesha. You should come and audition for it. So I auditioned for it. It was insane.
What do you mean?
But I was just the worst. I didn't know.
Never didn't know how to do it.
No, I didn't know it was a mess. It was a mess. But I think I was like just charming enough. They were like, "Well, maybe." And then, but then I remember her calling and saying, "Are you in SAG?" And I was like, "And SAG is," that kind of thing. She was
Yeah,
like,
that first call,
okay.
yeah.
So I didn't get the part,
Oh.
but a couple episodes later, I got offered a different part.
Oh, nice.
So that's how I got Taft-Hartley through Moesha. And
Oh.
that's how I got my SAG card.
Yeah, that's always a funny first call when you're like, okay, so the money you're going to get paid
It's
is
all
going to
to-
pay for your SAG membership. But now you're in SAG.
Exactly. But it was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you miss stand-up? Because you're a good stand-up.
I don't.
You don't?
Well, I don't miss. It was the road. The road was hard.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
really hard. And I'm also a lazy writer.
Oh,
I'm a lazy writer. I don't.
Right.
When I'm in the mode,
yeah.
you're just used to waking up, going to the cafe, writing.
Right.
The idea of that right now,
Yeah.
no.
No. Really?
No.
Interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, because you were so good. I remember your presents.
loved
I think
it.
ours were around the same time. And you had such presence.
Thanks.
And it was like, yeah, I could see that you
Yeah.
going the distance, but that stuff is, yeah.
And I do say, which is the same thing I say about being a doctor. It's like, I could go back to it.
Yeah.
If I had to, I could go back to it. So it's the
Yeah.
kind of thing that's in the back of my head that if need be, you
Yeah.
start writing and start doing the open mics and
Yeah.
get out there.
Do you feel like creatively taking on a role, and I mean, you were able to really cultivate, like on Parks, you really cultivate a character and a role. Do you feel like it kind of scratches the creative
Yes.
drive
Yeah.
in the same way
I mean,
that
I
other people like the writing?
I want to create a show. So I've pitched stuff before.
Right.
So I do have, my mind does go into the creative in that way too.
Yeah.
I did a pilot last year and I got to have my hands in a lot of it and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
From watching tapes to costuming.
Right.
All of that, I was very into
Set
it.
design and all that kind
Yeah,
of
the set design, not so much. That wasn't me. I mean, I have an idea of stuff, and what I maybe think things should look like.
Yeah.
But when it came to punching up and doing story, adding to story,
Yeah.
costuming, and then casting, I enjoyed that.
Right. Yeah. Sounds like you might be a producer.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you ever produce for something you're not in? Just to make
I'm actually
stuff?
working on some things.
Are you?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am. I have my hands in stuff and giving notes on scripts and stuff like that. That stuff that
Right.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be in.
How much did you like having a character though, like on Parks, to be able to?
Well, that was my first series, and I remember my manager saying, he's like, "Okay, so the casting director was like, it's not going to be a lot, that she won't be a regular right away, but they were using The Office as the model, where eventually everybody became regulars. And I was like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to go sit on set and learn, because it's a lot of you're in the bullpen, so
Yeah.
you're in the background of stuff. I might as well go and learn. I don't really know how sets work.
Right.
Right. I've done Moesha.
Right.
And not much.
Yeah.
So to know that I was going to get stuff to do and then eventually become a regular and all that, that was thrilling.
Yeah.
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 It's very exciting.
Man, that's crazy that was like really your first. You were so strong.
Yeah. I did do like little parts in movies. I remember I did Little Dicky. Do you remember Little Dicky?
Yeah.
I did Little Dicky, and I did with Jason Segel and it was a college movie. Why can't I think? Slackers. I did Slackers.
Yeah.
I think I got because I didn't want to go to the audition.
Really?
I had broken my ankle. And I was in a cast, and I remember a friend of mine was in town, and we were out in Santa Monica, and I get this call from my agent. Cell phones were new, and so my phone, I was like, no, I just got this phone. Who has my number?
Who else has a phone?
So I remember getting an audition, and I was like, oh, I can't do it. My ankle's broken. I'm in a cast. Mm-hmm. And so she's like, oh, okay. And then calls back. They think it might work for the part. It might be funny. And I was like, where is it? They're like, Santa Monica. I was like, nope. Not doing it.
I'm not
She's
going.
like, come on. Well, actually, I think she said Santa Monica first. And I said, no, my ankle's broken.
Yeah.
And then they said it might work for the part. Anyway, so I remember going to this audition for John Papsadera. And I pull in. So many people were auditioning. There was no parking. I pulled into this thing. I parked behind a tow truck. If I wasn't looking for it, so I parked behind a tow truck. You hooked it up
to the chains.
I ran in and I was like, I can't stay. I gotta go. And I was like rushing. Yeah. And I went in and I read for him, and he was like, "Let's go." I was like, "Okay, Greg, I gotta go." He's like, "Well, let's do it again." I was like, "Homie, I cannot get towed. I am so not. I can't afford to get towed." Yeah. And so rushed through it, and I think he was like, she don't even want it. And that's why I got that part.
Oh, isn't that amazing?
Sure, yeah.
That's the way it goes. You just saying no first.
That was my first. I think that I might have done that before I did. No.
If you could just bottle that. Like, that's the way you should treat every offer. Right?
I gotta go.
No, not doing it. I don't have time. I'm busy. You and your movie.
So much. I was like, Santa Monica? Nah. Yeah. Sorry, homie. Tell me when he moves it to Hollywood.
Yeah. So how you feeling about LA now? I mean, you love LA. Mm-hmm. And you feel like the business is gonna start coming back here?
I mean,
I have a lot of people are I love it too. And a lot of people are starting to get nervous or leaving and
well, I mean, I don't particularly. I did Girlfriend's Guide. I did 3 years in Vancouver. Mm-hmm. I did 1 year in Atlanta. So I don't prefer that. Vancouver much harder, obviously, because customs.
Yeah. It's a drag.
But I'm like, but if I have to, I'll go where the work is. Yeah. I don't want to have to, but I feel like we're kind of moving, talking to friends who are producers and stuff like that are actually working, doing stuff. Because Newsom is trying to get stuff back in California, I feel optimistic. I mean, I feel like everybody was feeling optimistic until the fires.
I know.
Really.
Yeah.
So I feel like, the fires kind of threw a wrench in our plan, and especially now that, it's a hardship on crew. Yeah. That I feel like they might work harder to get the incentives back so that we
Oh,
can
yeah.
work here.
That would be great.
Please.
I know. I was talking to people at ABC, and they're all in. They're like 90% of what we're doing is in LA.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Then you talk to other people, and they're like, "We're doing stuff in Belgium now."
Yeah.
I was like, "Wait a minute, what?"
Yeah.
How much could you possibly save? It can't be that much,
That's
can
what I'm
it?
saying.
Can it be that much?
I don't know. I mean, I guess the incentive works with, getting the crews their work. And so that's
Yeah.
how they justify it. The countries or whoever justify giving the incentives.
Right.
But I'm not sure how all of that works. Because I had a friend, she was telling me about, getting the money, and this has to be in the escrow, and then you have to give this percentage to SAG, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to be that producer.
Right.
I don't want that on my hands.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, to
But
figure that stuff out.
They work it out, and they go where the incentives are.
Right. It has to. I mean, this whole place is built on it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a giant sign.
Yeah, right. I know. We have stars
This
on
is
the streets.
place. I'm saying.
Yeah, big studios everywhere.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah,
Yeah, what are we going to do with these empty buildings?
I know. It's got to. It has to.
They have to.
Because even when someone was giving the speech, O'Connor was giving the speech during the Oscars and talking about the fires and, that all these crew people are out of work. And I was like, he could keep going. It's not just the people that are working on the film. It's the people with the restaurants and the dry cleaners and the supermarkets and all of like these
costume houses. And,
it stretches way beyond just the production.
Yep.
It goes to this whole city's built on that.
yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice if it were to come back.
I mean, the EPs of it all, the companies that do your payroll, all that.
Right, exactly. Now, I don't want to make you feel bad, but there is a huge Netflix studio being built in New Jersey.
Is it really? In Jersey?
Billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like around Monmouth, around that area.
Really?
Yeah, Long Branch kind of area. There was an old arsenal or barracks or whatever,
Right.
and they're converting and making this into a huge studio. So you may be going back.
At the very least, I can check in on the rentals, the parentals. I think they're doing something in Phoenix too, not Netflix. I believe Phoenix is trying to get into the game.
Right.
I can't. Oh no, this company is doing the casino stuff. But I think there's stuff. I was like, I'd rather go to Phoenix than
Yeah, than Vancouver.
get on a flight.
No kidding.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. We do a thing on this program called an uncomfortable moment.
Uh-oh.
It's not so bad. I think this one is actually kind of cute. We have our Cracker Jack staff do some research and stuff and find things out about people.
Oh gosh.
And as we're both
I thought I scrubbed it.
as we're both Jersey kids, we seem to have found. Remember Great Adventure in New Jersey? It looks like you and I might have been on the same roller coaster at the same time. And I have to say, for someone who's shitting on Jersey, you look pretty happy there.
My makeup is fire. Whose body is that?
I don't know.
I haven't looked like that
I
since
don't
sixth
know.
grade.
Well, what's so sad about mine is it's like probably a face from me doing stand-up. That's
What
how over the
happened?
top I am.
I can tell the lighting.
Right.
The lighting, that is a special. That shot is from a special.
I'm really trying. I'm really trying.
And we're so much smaller than the people behind us. Clearly, those were their children.
This could be us. We could go back to New Jersey. Your folks are still there? Mm-hmm. That's nice. Are they proud?
Oh, very.
Yeah.
My dad used to, when I started doing, when I did my first TV appearance was on the Jenny Jones show.
Wow.
And my dad, that day had a haircut. He went to the barber. And when I went up, you know, they say from Jersey. And then the guy was like, "Hey, man, is that your daughter?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he knew I was going to be on, but he didn't realize it was going to be on in the barbershop.
Oh, that was airing.
And so he was like the king of the shop that day. And then after that, my
That's
dad
great.
used to work for Conair Corporation. And he would take tapes, whether it's stand-up or me on Moesha or whatever. He would record everything. And he would take tapes to work and let people sign them out to watch me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was a walking blockbuster.
That's
Of
amazing.
just my material.
They would have to sign
They
them
would
out like a
sign shit,
library?
yep.
or
They would sign, you know, so he knew who had them.
That's so great. Oh, man.
And I'm like, "You would take a bin in?" And
That's
he was like,
amazing.
"Well, they said they wanted to see it." I was like, God bless.
That's so great. Do they come out here?
They were just here like a month ago. Oh, no, 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
They were just here.
Oh,
And
that's nice.
my mom cooked for my friends.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't know Liberian food.
Well, she did. My mom does a ridiculous mashed potato.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Thanksgiving is traditional food. I mean, she does stuff for my dad, separate, like a baked fish, a crab stuffed fish, and
Baked crab
rice.
What?
she does a stuffed snapper.
Oh.
My dad likes snapper, so she does a crab stuffing for
Oh,
his.
nice.
But then everything else is pretty traditional.
Right.
But she does a insane mashed potatoes. So when she comes, she does smothered pork chops, but it's like a Liberian spin. It's a little bit spicier, and then the mashed potatoes.
Oh,
And it's
man.
really good.
You're bringing up a horrible memory I have of this Thanksgiving where my wife, I do all of the cooking mostly, and my wife handles the mashed potatoes.
Okay.
And she's usually on point. And it was like getting late. And I'm like, aren't you potatoes? And she's like, I got it. She didn't have it. And as I'm putting everything out, her and, Erin Foley, the comedian Erin Foley, she's a friend. She was over, and I just hear them laughing and trying to mash hard potatoes. It was a disaster. I got it.
Hey, you didn't have mash for Thanksgiving?
No, we had lump. We had lump potatoes. We're all lumps.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It ruined everything.
Yeah, that would really ruin our Thanksgiving if we didn't have my mom's.
Your mom's, yeah.
Mashed.
What makes them so good? They're just so creamy, buttery.
Yeah, it's just, it's butter. It's everything bad.
Yeah.
Like buttermilk,
Oh, boy.
cream, butter,
Right.
all of it.
Yeah.
Milk. Well, evaporated milk.
Our producer on this show is a vegan, and I keep trying to tell him butter doesn't count. You should have butter in your life.
the
I'm
very
concerned
least.
about him. I'm like, I can see not eating a
Some
bunch of
real
animals or
butter.
whatever, but
Right.
come on, some butter.
Yeah.
On your toast,
I mean,
in your mashed potatoes.
why can't they use butter? Because
I
it's
don't-
not like,
You're not killing the
You're not
animal.
killing the animal.
You're just squeezing some parts of them.
yeah. Give me the juice.
Give me the squeezins. That doesn't count. I bet there'd be a lot more vegans if you let butter in. Just a little loophole.
Like, there'd be a lot more vegans if you let ham in. So.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So when's your show coming out again?
The new season, it's not confirmed, but right now June 15th is when they say the next season is coming out. Mhm.
That's good. Yeah, my wife watches a lot of HGTV, and she's always saying that it would be like the perfect gig. I mean, it's such a loyal audience. It's such a cool, right? I mean, it's
I tend to if I don't want to be, if I'm doing something around the house, or not around the house, but in a room, I can turn on HGTV.
Yeah.
And you don't have to pay attention because you watch the beginning you see whatever the mess is, and you hear them click, clack until they start to show it. Then you can watch the end.
Click,
you know what I mean?
It's really true. And wait for the reveal.
I love a before and after.
Yeah.
Nothing makes me happy. So it's actually, our show, to me, it's a little bit harder because the before and after, you don't know who's before you're using because you go to 15 different houses and then you finally get to watch an after.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it better be entertaining because there's no after in the first 5 episodes.
Right. Until, yeah.
That's a
Man,
last
so
one.
when you talk about the travel being rough for stand-up, is this okay for you doing this travel show? Like, is it?
That's what I'm saying. It's better because, one, I don't drive.
Right. You don't have to do. Right.
I have a driver, and I'm not by myself.
Right.
There's a team.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, support.
Hair and makeup. I've got company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not me alone in my room. Doing,
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
So
that is a big part of it.
It just makes it so much better. In this last season, I had every once in a while I'll have a friend with me.
Yeah.
So even that's like a little mini time with a friend.
Just to come along for the shoot?
Sometimes I have some people that will come.
Oh, that's nice.
And then last season, my friend who's the producer, on her downtime, she handled, because the girl that did the talent producer, she couldn't do the show. So my friend did the job.
Oh, nice.
And she was really good. So the production company really liked her. And then I was with my friend for
great.
A couple of weeks. Yeah.
Oh, that's really fun.
It was good.
That's good. Well, congratulations. It's great. I mean, really, back to what you're saying, a gig that you didn't even see coming is like this little
gig that
engine.
I didn't want.
Yeah, right.
I was like, I don't know if I want to do this.
Can you give me one more funky house story? One more funky,
funky
oh my
house?
God, I got to get out of here. This is something we didn't see on the air. That's.
You mean funky, smell, or just weird?
Either.
Okay, so there's this one house where every comment that I made was something they had already done themselves.
Oh.
And I was like, I mean, what
It was their
these?
improvement?
Yes.
Oh, really?
So, but
Yeah.
it started bad because I remember walking in, and you don't see it in the show. I walk in and I look, and there's this shelf, this high shelf, and up on the high shelf is one of those lawn jockeys.
Oh no.
Yeah.
From the olden days?
Yeah, from the olden
no.
days. And I remember being like, and then I turned towards my producer, and they're like, I was like, so that shot ends here, right? The shot ends here? And they're like, yeah. Don't worry about it. We're not putting it in.
Yeah. How about we cut this whole part? How about back to the van?
Because they would have to.
Right?
Because they
Jeez.
there's some houses that they can't do because these people have these gun racks and they can't move it.
Oh,
or stuff like
man.
that. So, so that's how it started.
Jeez.
And then I found out later when they talked to the home, they're like, well, we couldn't lift it. We couldn't move it. And I was like, you lifted it up to there.
Yeah. It didn't.
What do you mean you can't move it?
It didn't grow there.
Whatever. But here's the thing. I don't care. You have it.
Yeah. Why do you have
Whether
it?
you move it or not. Right. And it was so funny. And I felt like it was the husband that was kind of over me. Because the wife and the kids loved me. But were they his kids?
Yeah.
No, I can't remember. And the youngest loved me and was like, and we were wearing matching colors, and I was like, look at us, we match. And she was like, oh my God, we match. And she just loved, and I know he was like, but then that's when I went in, and everything I commented on was work that he had done, and I was like, oh boy. And I literally walked up to my producer, I was like, can we find out the things that they did, so I don't shit on it. How about that?
Right. Yes, we get out of here alive.
Very stressful.
That's so crazy. Well, I can't wait to go back and watch to see your face. I'm going to watch it with a new perspective
When I
now.
walk in, I'm like-
Yeah. I'm like, I don't care about the house. I want to see how this place smelled.
There's one place. There was one where when we went into the house, the woman kept saying, "I'm so sorry for the smell. I'm so sorry for the smell." And I was like, I mean, I don't really smell it. It's not that bad. And I was like, and trust me, I have a very active gag reflex. There's nothing getting past this nose. And she just kept saying it. And then we went into the basement, and I was like, oh, it's in here.
Oh, no.
I was like, I feel like it was like burned into her nose. And so she just, she's triggered when she comes to the house, because it was like a house that we still had to work on and stuff like that. So they didn't spend a whole lot of time. And I went into the basement and I was like, we got to get the fuck out of here.
What was it?
It was moldy, like it had been flooded or something.
Oh, man.
It was bad.
Oh,
it
my
was so bad. I was like, do you guys spend time in here? It's like, well, we mostly hang out outside. It was like, girlfriend. What?
Get out of here.
She's like, we had the doors open, expecting you. We had the doors open for so long. And blah, blah, blah. I was like, not long enough.
No, this doesn't
Not
work.
long enough. But that one I did say it. I was like, oh, I smell it. That
Oh,
is
you
on
did on
camera.
air?
Yeah, that was
Oh,
on
really?
air. It was bad.
Oh,
yeah.
man. Well, I'm going to find it. This is going to be good.
Because she had said it. She kept saying it through the show. I was like,
Yeah,
I smell it.
right. And then, holy cow. Well, thank you for being here. This was really fun.
Thanks for having
Yeah,
me.
it was nice spending time with you, and I
Yeah.
can't wait to spend time with you on set in New Jersey when
Yeah.
we're on a show together. Well,
When
hang
we're
on.
running that Netflix studio.
Yeah, right, exactly. You make it, I'll be in it, and
Yeah.
we'll be in New Jersey happily ever after. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
We got it, kids.